with Purity. I'm your host, Dan Bardell. Norwich City 0, Aston Villa 2, as I predicted on last night's show. Joined again by Chris Dolan, and we've got Omar with us tonight as well, in case people are bored of the two of us chatting absolute rubbish. How are you guys? Enjoyable evening?
Very nice.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Yeah, really happy. I mean, Mum and Dad are watching, so thanks for me and Dad for tuning in.
Hi, Mum and Dad.
Yeah,
big fans of the show. I'm sure.
Big fans
they
of the
watch
show,
every single week.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so
every single show.
No, good man. Really good, really good. I mean, let's just go straight to Jacob Ramsay. I mean, just out of this world. But not even the goal, mate. Just the all-round performance was honestly, it was terrifying. It was frightening. You know, you made the point on the WhatsApp to me that he's very Jude Bellingham-esque, which I thought was a great. Let's say
I also said that Bellingham's a freak, and I'm not saying he's as good as Bellingham, but he's got certain traits in the way he plays the game that remind me a little bit of him. Could very well be Villa's Bellingham, still only 20.
Yeah, so good, mate. So good. Again, the thing about the last sort of 4 wins under Gerrard is you could pick so many different man of the matches. Again, I thought Cash was sensational. I thought McGinn was outstanding. I thought Collins and Mings at the back were brilliant. I thought Target was really solid. Luis was silky. Young probably didn't have his best game, and Ings kind of just looks a little bit off the pace, which is understandable because he hasn't played many minutes. But it was top drawer, mate. Top drawer.
Yeah, Omar, good to have you on.
Thank you, mate.
Enjoyable, as Dolan said. And good night for the academy as well, with Chukwuemeka's impact at the end of the game. What an assist that was. What a ball across goal. I mean, I say Watkins couldn't miss at one point. I actually thought he had missed. But even Watkins, Dolan just reeled off a list of players. I didn't think Watkins had his best night, but he still got a goal and an assist.
Yeah. It was a really weird one, wasn't it? I think we looked so comfortable for most of that game that we were playing within ourselves a little bit. And had maybe like a nervy 5 minutes in the second half. Second half wasn't great, but first half I thought our build-up play was good. It was just that final ball that was lacking, and Watkins was guilty of that. Cash was guilty of that. But yeah, overall, you've got to be pleased with the 2-0 victory away. And Chukwuemeka, as you say, he made a massive difference, I think, because I think that game was drifting a little bit. We'd become a bit lethargic, maybe not putting in the shift that we were in the first half, or being as careful as we were with the ball in the first half. And I think he came in and made a bit of a difference, and obviously set up the goal as well, which was excellent, and capped off an excellent team performance in the end, albeit a couple of nervy moments in the second half.
Yeah, I've not seen the stats because obviously we've jumped straight on after the game, but it felt very much like, Dolan, that was a game.
Hold on 2 seconds. My camera's got a bit funny here.
Sorry. Oh, he's upside down. He's all over the place. There we go. I can see him. He's back. No one else could see that catastrophe that was unfolding in front of my eyes there. But that felt like Gerrard sent them out tonight to play on the front foot and try and dominate the possession. I mean, Adam, the producer, might be able to grab the stats for me whilst we're talking. I'll create.
I'm good.
Oh, are you listening to? Are you listening to what I'm saying?
No,
excellent.
No.
I'll do that again then. So what I'm saying is that felt very much like a game where Gerrard sent us out to play on the front foot. He's talked about wanting to be better on the ball after some of the other games. Tonight felt very much like he sent us out to control the game and be that team that played on the front foot. I haven't seen the stats back, but first half in particular, use of the ball was very good, and keeping the ball when we needed to and slowing it down. In fact, that was probably evident through the whole game.
Yeah, surprisingly, can you guess the possession? I just got the stats up. Can you guess the possession? I mean,
because you said it's a surprise, I'm going to say that we didn't have the most possession.
Oh, it's 50-50.
That was going to be my guess.
Which
there it is. Look at that.
Yeah,
need to get that font sorted. But other than that, top work. Yeah,
I suppose second half, you can maybe sort of see how that could be the case. But I think we spoke last night about Gerrard using the players that he's got and what he's done in such a short space of time. I think the last 5 games, we obviously, even in the games we've won, we haven't dominated the ball. But I thought tonight we dominated the ball from start to finish. And I think he'll want to use that as a blueprint. That's the kind of performance that we need to play and carry that on against even the better teams. Because let's be honest, Norwich were bad. I mean, they were poor. They were really, really poor. And I didn't expect it to be such a comfortable game. They just didn't really have much fight. They had the odd passage of play here and there in the second half, but Martinez didn't make a save. So it was comfortable. It was very comfortable. And I think if you look at the overall performance, you could not argue with that 3 points. The only slight worry was first half. I thought we were a little bit wasteful in the final third. I thought our deliveries weren't great. We had so many corners. I think we had like 11 corners, and our delivery was poor. It improved when McGinn took over the set pieces. But just I would have liked to have maybe seen a few more goals, and we could have been out of sight by half time.
Dolan talks about Omar that we've not controlled possession in any of the games under Gerrard before until tonight. That's now something you want to see carry on into the next game, isn't it? Because again, Burnley, you'd expect us to be the team that plays on the front foot and takes that game to Burnley, but we're a bit low on bodies at the moment. A couple of knocks and on. McGinn went down at one point. Konsa went down at one point. That bench was just basically the academy again, and Twanzebe and Horse. So, we're picking up niggles. It's a busy time of year. We're going to need plenty of players. It's a little bit concerning that the squad's stretched at the moment going into the big run of fixtures now.
Yeah, it is. And I think Buendia as well took a knock as well. It looked like he was in a lot of pain. So, yeah, I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? It's going to be so many games coming fast. It's a shame as well with COVID. And I think, to be honest, we'll see more fixtures postponed because obviously COVID seems to be spreading massively now. I think it's 40 odd in the Premier League confirmed cases this week, which is the highest for a long time. So I just think it's going to be one of those periods where games are going to be on and off. Hopefully we're not affected too much, but obviously we've got Carney come on and made a difference. Jacobs, Ramsay's obviously man of the match performance, all from our academy as well. So I'm not too worried against Burnley. If we have to play Philogene Bidace, for example, then so be it. I think we still should have enough, but it's nice to see us control the possession. Definitely. I think Norwich, as Dolan said, was just so poor. Even second half, they tried to disrupt us. I think they tried to put in some niggly fouls and try and stop us playing, which they did in the first half, and it did affect us a little bit. But even then, they had no quality at all. So I think Burnley will be a slightly different game. It will be probably a little bit more end-to-end, a little bit more in the air, a bit tougher in the midfield battle. I thought it was quite easy for us at times today. So hopefully we're fully fit. But even then, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think we'll have to just try and use the bench as much as we can. Maybe even more academy players coming on the bench on Sunday, because I think there'll be a few might not make. I think Buendia might be close to not making it because he looked really bad. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. So, even like I said, the academy have done well when they've come on. So be it. We'll have to just get through it, and hopefully the other players who have got COVID haven't got it that bad and can come back within the next sort of 10 days or so.
Yeah, looking like Nakamba's out for the season, Dolan, as we touched on last night on last night's show. But in a game like that, Luiz is pivotal and works really well at the base, just in front of the back four, because his use of the ball is excellent. I mean, he's got an extra spring in his step at the moment. I can't think for the life of me why he would have that extra spring in his step. But honestly, since Gerrard's come in, I think Luiz has been superb.
Yeah. No, they've all been superb, mate. I mean, to a man, everybody's raised their game, and it kind of feels unfair to single anybody out, because honestly, like, everybody's been outstanding. Everyone's gone up to another level. And as we said last night, I still think there's more levels to reach. We're still lacking in numbers. We're still lacking in a bit of depth. We're still unlucky with injuries. That's obviously why we're lacking in depth. We had a very stop-start pre-season. It's obviously been quite disruptive. Obviously, Smith lost his job, and it's been hard to get that settled shape. And I think finally we're starting to see a settled formation, even without a settled squad, which goes to prove that his influence and his style is really, really filtering through the entire club. And it's, honestly, just to see Jacob Ramsay, man. Honestly, that was just like this could be the night, where he takes his game on to another level. And I know it's Norwich and they were poor, but he was incredible, and everything about that guy just oozes class. And just, we obviously lost one Villa boy in the summer, and it looks like we've found another future Villa legends. And I think I think obviously playing further forward in the last few games probably doesn't
I don't
suit him.
like him
I think
there.
he's much more effective when he takes the ball and he bursts and he drives and he takes players on. And but you look at he should have been 3 this season. Arsenal goal was great. The Leicester goal was obviously well, in my eyes, wrongly chalked off, and a wonder goal tonight. So he can certainly drive at that midfield, at that defense, and he can certainly score. So he looks like a real all rounder. And wow, what a performance!
Yeah, the comment that just popped up at the bottom says about Chukwuemeka must start basically now. He's probably got a decent chance of starting on Saturday at Omar now, because you think Young's not going to play 3 games in a week. So there's every chance Chukwuemeka now, with that assist at the end, has played himself into the side for Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't think Young had his best game, to be honest. I thought he was quite ineffective. Sure. Lost the ball a few times, and yeah, I think against Burnley as well, who are quite physical, obviously. I think it may be a bit more of a difficult game for him. So I think starting Chukwuemeka might not be a bad shout. Then again, him coming on when there's a bit of space and they're attacking on the counter, obviously worked well for him today. So maybe that kind of thing suits him. Maybe starting him might not be the right thing. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does start on Saturday. I think it's, he obviously wants a chance. We want him to sign a new contract. He's talking about, his ability to break into the first team. Well, you see with Jacob Ramsay, you see what he's doing. There's your role model right there, if he wants one. And these are the games when we've got injuries, when we've got a few illnesses. These are the games where he's going to need to step up, and he's done that already today. So why not Saturday? But definitely, I think I'm still not sure about Ings and Watkins playing in that front 3. I didn't think it worked that well again today. Albeit I know he only came on for 20 odd minutes, but again, I wasn't really sure. I think we lost a bit. I know Watkins scored. I'm saying this now, but I thought we lost a bit of threat when Watkins went out wide, even though he scored. So again, I'm not sure whether Ings comes in with a Chukwuemeka.
I don't think he likes going out wide, Watkins. His body language when he gets pushed out there, I'm not sure it suits him anymore. I know he used to play there, but I really think he prefers being that leading the line on his own and pressuring the centre halves, and that being his role, making the runs and just being a nuisance. He doesn't feel like he's massively comfortable on the left. And Ings, he hasn't played much recently at all. His first touch wasn't quite there. Yeah, there's a couple of times he fully fit Danny Ings takes the ball down and he didn't tonight, but the only way to get him fit is to play him. So again, you might see him coming at the weekend against his old team, Burnley, but 30 million on Ings, like Dolan, I think, said last night. Villa are going to want to see some bang for their buck, so he's probably going to have to play some games, which will mean that Watkins spends some time out wide.
Yeah, I think so. What's happened is obviously Gerrard's come in, Ings has been injured, but Gerrard's first, you've seen it really with the performances. His first objective has been to get us more solid, get us disciplined, get us playing in the right way, get the right shape about us, get that drilled into the team. And now he's done that, I think we might start seeing us play a bit more expansive. Even today, I think we were a little bit, we didn't really put bodies in the box too much. We still played lovely build-up play, especially on the right-hand side, but we didn't commit too many men into the box when we did get the ball on the right-hand side. When Cash had, when he had opportunity to cross, sometimes his crossing was poor, but also he didn't have that many options. So I think now everyone's starting to, buy into Gerrard's way, and they've bought into it pretty quickly. I think we'll start seeing a bit more creative intent, and maybe then we'll see Ings playing and Watkins playing in the same team. I guess we'll see. They're still, they're both excellent players. They both work very hard. So there's no reason why they can't play both in the same team. But I guess it's just a wait and see. Like I said, there's so many games coming up in this Christmas period. Players are going to have to play. Ings probably will have to start games because there will be injuries to that front 3. Especially, Trez is back, but he's going to be a long way off fitness. Traore is injured. Bailey's injured. Young isn't, as we've seen, quite ineffective on the wing.
Presume El Ghazi's got COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So these players will all need to step up at some point, I imagine, in this crucial period.
Yeah, fullbacks are becoming a massive part, like they were under Gerrard at Rangers, Dolan, targeting Cash. Cash is basically playing like a right winger at times in a front 3. He gets so far forward, and that's where you say about bodies in the box. The central midfielders don't tend to break and get into the box because the fullbacks are so high. The outside central midfielder always seems to be the cover for when the fullback goes forward. I'd like to see a bit more when, if Cash is bombing forward, McGinn won't get in the box, he'll cover off the counter-attacking threat. But the central midfielder on the other side in Ramsay, I'd like to see them get into the box a bit more and just create that extra body in there.
Yeah, no, listen, it's you can really see the difference in style, the difference in formation. It is, like I say,
Has
it's
your wife
quite,
just
it's
crawled
quite,
on the floor to come in the room, darling? I saw her lurking in the background, and then she
yeah,
just disappeared.
yeah,
She's crawling
yeah. I
around.
mean, there's only 600 people watching, and you have to come down and yeah, honestly, like unbelievable,
Come say hello.
Yeah, crawling around on the
Yeah,
floor.
Join the pod. Join the pod.
You're live on air. Just walk out. Honest goodness, sorry about that.
Like when the kid came in on that news program, like that when the guy was there.
Yeah. I mean, honest to goodness. Anyway, so what was I saying?
I said about the other central midfielder getting in the box when the one central midfielder's covering the fullback who's bombed on.
I'd even Omar, can you?
Yeah, Omar, can you take it? It's something tactical here.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think, I mean, the amount of work fullbacks have to put in the modern age is massive, and we've seen obviously Gerrard's a massive. It's a massive part of his tactics. Those fullbacks, they play so wide, so high up. The number 8s are covering so much and helping them out that I think. We saw today a little bit with. I was only remember the second half when Cash played that ball across and target, knocked it down and tried to volley with his right foot, getting a little bit further forward, but we'd like to see a bit more of that. And that's what I mean by bodies in the box. I think we might see a little bit more than that. We used to see that under Smith with the wingers. We used to see one winger get the ball and then Trezeguet arrive in the back post or Traore, whoever it was. And now it just seems like the fullbacks have taken up that position. So I think it's, I do wonder a little bit. I think, I love Target and Cash, but I do.
I think Target's been brilliant, actually.
Yeah, I think
going a bit under the radar.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Defensively as well. And I think with him he's I was reading some stats around our crosses. We're making a lot fewer crosses, although today I think we took a lot more, but much higher quality. So it definitely seems like there's a plan there where if we do get it at the byline, that we don't just cross straight away. We make sure there's options there. Although I know today is an exception because I think we didn't do that. But I do think we're trying to build up play a little bit more through the middle. And we've seen that with the fullbacks overlapping. How many times have we seen in Villa the Cash or Target running in behind the defense, the opposition defense, trying to get in behind? Not very often, and we've seen it so many times over the last few games under Gerrard. So I think as time goes on, hopefully they'll improve that attacking threat as well as they get more used to playing this system. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if we still look at fullback positions because Gerrard has inherited Cash and Target. I think they've been exceptional, but I still
there needs to be some competition. I think I'm not sure Young's got the legs to play as a fullback in the way we're playing here.
Exactly, yeah, and maybe Kessler's one. Maybe he's obviously doing well, and
Christine being promoted. He plays. He can play left back.
Play left back, can play centre back, play midfield. He can play everywhere. Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm not sure he's a marauding left back in the same sort of. He's more like a Mings left back before he signed for Villa. I think that kind of
Mings at Ipswich.
Yeah, it means Ipswich. Yeah, so I don't know.
I've said
surprised we see a left back come in who's a bit more, not dynamic, but a bit quicker,
pacey,
and just a bit pacey. Give Target a bit of competition.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think not to dig out Matt Target, but I just think we need a bit more cover at left back and even Cash at right back. We don't have any real cover. Sort of proven quality to come in and help out when needed. And I think also, we're going to be forced now to make a move in January.
Midfield will be addressed now.
Yeah, with Nakamba being out, I'm going to guess Sanson had COVID because he was looking really, really good.
He can't catch a break, but he can catch every illness going.
No, I know, exactly. So, you got to feel for him. He just seems to be, the fall guy at the minute. He just sort of seems everything that can go wrong is going wrong.
He'd have started tonight, I think, if he'd have been available.
I think he would have started. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference because I thought the midfield three were outstanding. But it was. I just saw the question pop up there about Buendia. I think you said to me that maybe he's trying. He tried
a little bit too much tonight.
Forced it. Yeah, just forced it a little bit too much. I agree.
Not digging him out saying he played badly. I just felt he was trying a little bit too hard because he was playing against Norwich. You could see he really wanted to impress, and I would say it didn't quite happen for him tonight.
I thought he had a good 20 minutes or a good 25 minutes, and then he sort of drifted away a little bit, and he was doing, him and Cash and McGinn were playing really well on the right when they're building up play, nice intricate passes. And I thought he started the game really well. You could see he was up for it, but then he sort of drifted away. And especially the second half, I thought he didn't really get into the game at all and got dispossessed a couple of times.
He's very easily frustrated, Buendia. Quite often you'll see him throwing his hands up in the air or hitting himself. He gets quite easily annoyed. Buendia maybe just needs to calm down a little bit. What do you think? What do you think Dean Smith will be thinking, Dolan? I mean, his first time he's played against Villa. He'd probably be thinking, where was that midfield?
Yeah, probably thinking, where was that at Southampton and at home to West Ham and away to Arsenal? Yeah, I think he'll be quite shocked. I think he'll be astounded. I said this last night that Dean Smith knows those Villa players, but he doesn't know them under the way Steven Gerrard wants to play football. And I think tonight proves that. I think he knows he's got a lot of work to do. I still think they're in with a shout. I still think they're in with a shout of staying up, because that bottom 4 or 5 don't seem to want to pick up any results. So they're certainly not cut adrift yet. But they're just lacking experience. They're lacking. I thought Pookie was.
They're very toothless. Very toothless.
They really are. I don't know what's going on with Todd Cantwell. A player that I really rate as well. A player that I would happily see at Aston Villa, but doesn't seem to be able to sort of cement a regular place. And when he's in, he doesn't seem to make much of an impact. So yeah, I thought they were. If you're a Norwich fan tonight on the back of that performance, you'd be worried. Yes, they're not cut adrift, but if they're going to perform like that at home against let's be honest, against a mid-table side in Aston Villa, I mean, I thought they give United more of a game than they give us. I thought we were just in complete control.
Chris Reeves said that basically on Twitter. He said Villa deserved to win. He thought Norwich were really poor.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice to win a game of football when you know after those 90 minutes that you know that you deserve it. Like, there's nobody can say otherwise. Like, that was a complete performance. It was dominant. And I think the only thing for us was the fact that it was only 2-0. We didn't really hang on in the second half. They had the odd moment, but their final ball was way off. Their creativeness in the final third was way off the mark.
But we did defend well as well. We're very organised. Whenever, I mean, again, we were in a little bit of trouble at one point. Conser just with a lovely piece of skill just got us out of it on his own. We're pretty compact and look good at the back.
We're looking good. We're looking like the back 5 that we looked this time last year. That had those 13, 14 clean sheets. I was speaking to Neil Cutler today, and I just said to him, it's great to see Martinez back to his best. I think he had quite a sort of stop-start season early on. I know he had some family issues and obviously all the traveling that he was doing with Argentina, and I just was like, yeah, it's great to see him back. I think he's back now and is back to his best. When you've got a thriving Emi Martinez, then it must be a dream to play in front of him, because he's just such a phenomenal goalkeeper.
Yeah, came out and grabbed a couple of things. I mean, that's some record.
I mean, that is incredible.
The game I was watching on the feed I was watching on Saturday that was coming into me against Liverpool was a foreign commentary, and they called him Debu the whole way through. It was glorious listening to Debu every time he did did anything. They shouted Debu, which I really, really enjoyed. Omar, Dolan and myself spoke about it a little bit last night, but now he's beat Norwich now. So far, Gerrard has beaten all the teams that you'd want him to beat and competed against the teams that you'd perhaps think that we'd struggle against. As starts go as a Villa manager, we couldn't have dreamed for a better start, really. I mean, we could have dreamed for 6 wins, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it could have been easily been another. Those 2 losses could have been 2 draws, couldn't they? Really, if we look back at them. But this is the bounce period, 5 or 6 games. I think that's what they say.
Yeah, but you say about a new manager bounce, because it's not just the winning the games, is it? It's the change in the performance level.
No, and it's not just that. It's the tactics. Like, you can see it from the first game, Brighton game. You can see it straight away. And now I've seen them a couple of times live in the flesh. You can see the work rate, the discipline, how they're all moving together as a team, how the number 8s work across, how the number 10s tuck in. how the fullbacks stay high, and all that kind of stuff. You can see that it's completely different to Smith. It's not something that they've been doing before, really. So you can see that straight away. And it's been gritty. Don't get me wrong. It's been a war of attrition at times, I think, some of the games, but it's been resolute. We've looked so comfortable at the back. We've looked so good at the back, even against the top teams. You see Man City hitting 7-pass leads today. We did not look like that at all against Man City or against Liverpool. So I think that bodes well for us for the rest of the season, as long as we stay injury free and try and get as many players back as possible. There's no reason why we can't push on and try and get into those European spots. Now, obviously, it's a long way away and things will change. We'll probably go on a bad run at some point. But
I mean, it's inevitable. We'll trip up at some point and lose a game. You don't expect us to.
Of course. And Burnley is obviously going to be a tough game, and there's games to come as well. But I think the overall ethos of what Gerrard's doing is there. You can see that, and that's going to put us in. I think it's going to stand us in good stead moving forward for the rest of the season. I think the key will be, our defense looks solid as ever. We can keep them together. Our back five, then I think we'll be fine. The key is to get those attacking positions right, because we've changed our front three a number of times already. So it's the key is just making sure we get that right and get some sort of pattern going. I think the midfield looks good. I think McGinn, Louise, Ramsay, Sanson when he's come on. The camp obviously is out probably for the season, but hopefully we'll sign someone else. Chukwuemeka when he's come on, that midfield looks like it's functioning really well. Whoever you put in, I think that front three needs a little bit of work, and I think if we can get that right, then I don't see why we can't just push on from here.
Yeah, have we got the league table, Adam? Have we got it? He's nodding his head, so it should appear on the screen.
Sitting in
Any second.
ninth, actually.
Yeah, we're ninth.
I thought we had a better goal difference than that.
No, but I mean, no one will be able to read that still. But from what I can see,
read it.
We're ninth. I'm not 100% sure how many points we've got. I'm going to say 22.
Got 22. Yeah, joint with Leicester.
Yeah, we're pushing now. Looking up rather than down, I would say.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think it was so important to get those wins against. I mean, the teams have beaten, Leicester, Palace, Norwich.
I'm surprised Leicester are that high, to be honest.
Brighton, so we've beaten every team that's in and around us, which is exactly what you need to do if you're going to compete in that top half.
Yeah.
We're not going to be competing in the top four. We're going to be competing at the minute. We're going to be competing in sort of in around the top 8, top 10, and if we can beat, and you look at the teams out sort of from Leicester down to Villa, there's no reason why we can't finish in that 7th, 8th position, because we're just as good, if not better, than every team from what Leicester down to.
I'm looking at 5th down and thinking we give all those teams a game.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I suppose Spurs in their day and Arsenal, obviously.
Tottenham will improve under Conte, obviously, because they won't ship goals. But from 5th down, you'd think,
4th down, definitely.
4th down. I think West Ham are better than us.
Yeah, I know, but I think we can give them a game now. I'd back us to give them.
I mean, obviously, we've given Man City and Liverpool a game, but there's no team there that would really particularly scare me from 5th down.
I mean, you can see the point difference. The top three, obviously, in the league of their own. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everyone else down there is up for grabs. So. That's why I don't, I think, we make some good signings and we get it right over the next few seasons. There's no reason why we can't catch those teams up.
There's no reason why we can't, why we can't get another 3 wins out of those next 4 games. I'm
looking at Chelsea at the moment, thinking they're not flying. They're suddenly shipping goals. They've got a few problems.
I say I'm excited.
This is the time of year when freaky results happen. Injuries occur, fitness fatigue sets in. There's a lot of games in a very short space of time. It's all about recovery. It's not about sort of training sessions and sort of tactics. It's about recovery.
We've got that thing that's hard to get at the moment, momentum. I know we've lost a couple of games, but there's definitely a momentum and a feel good around the club at the moment, which is brilliant to see.
I love to see the form guide over the last 5 games as well, because we got to be up there.
Come on, Adam, get the form guide up.
If you can get the form guide, or is that?
He's not going to be able to pull that from nowhere, is he? Jeez, give the lad a break.
No, he's good, but he isn't that good. But as you say, Dan, going into this time of year. The hardest part of the season, with confidence, momentum, and ability, because we're playing really well as well. Like we've played really well. We haven't. That's probably been our most complete 90 minutes under Gerrard. But if you take the other, no, I think it is.
I didn't think we were as good in the second half, being picky. If you could throw the Norwich first half and the Leicester second half together, I think you'd have a good performance.
Yeah, but I think overall over the 90 minutes, it was our best. It was our best performance.
I'd still say Palace away.
That shows. I think that's an interesting point, because I think it shows we've still got a few levels to go.
Yeah, definitely.
But we won 4 and lost 2, so that's pretty good, right? To be in that position, to not actually be firing, and not all the players haven't quite bedded in to the way that we want to play, and the front three aren't firing just yet. To win 4 games out of 6, and to take the 2 best teams in Europe, 2 of the best teams in Europe close as well. I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, let's call it a day, because we did last night as well. People are probably bored of Dolan and myself, but thank you to you both for joining me. Just enough time to do the usual plugs. So we've got the mug plug. If you've enjoyed Villa's victory tonight, why not go to the Villa View shop and treat yourself to a Steven Gerrard mug? No mugs at the moment in that Villa side, that's for sure. So yeah, get yourself a Steven Gerrard mug. Also, Purity, our sponsors, have got 2 great deals going on at the moment. So you've got the 2 cases of Purity Pale cans, the same ones at Villa Park. I mean, I'm literally just reading what's on the screen, but that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Like a PowerPoint presentation, this.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing at this point. And amazingly, you actually can read the font, which is incredible, on the Villa View. So that's £50.
I must say, Adam's done some great work on the graphics today. I'm surprised how quick he got the stats up. That was really.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's got a method. It doesn't always work, but he's got a method. I think if you just throw anything on the screen, as long as no one can read it fully, you're okay, aren't you? You're going to look like you're half decent if you just throw it up on the screen. So yeah, I didn't read those deals out in the end, but yeah, there's 2 deals going on the Purity website. And if you use the code #VillaView, you'll save yourself even more money. So go and do that. Get yourself your mugs, and we will come back with a show at some point this week before the Burnley game. Thanks ever so much for watching. Well done, Villa. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.